Good morning, world of readers. I am Book Dragon Erin, and I would like to welcome you all back to my booktube channel, where today I will be reviewing The Neighbor by Dean Koontz. The Neighbor is a fictional horror thriller novel, and it is book 0.5 in the City series. And in that series, we have The Neighbor and The City. Other books by Dean Koontz include Intensity, Lightning, Phantoms, and Watchers. Getting right into the plot, the year is 1967, a great era for rock and roll, but not quite the summer of love yet. Malcolm Pomerantz is 12, geeky, and socially awkward. His sister Amalia is spirited and beautiful. Each is the other's best friend, united by a boundless interest in the world beyond their dysfunctional parents' unhappy home. However, the troubled Pomerantz household will seem to be a haven compared to the house next door after an enigmatic and very secretive new neighbor takes up residence in the darkest hours of the night. Moving right along into my thoughts on this book, I love this book's connections to the past, the 1960s, and mentions of media culture like Glenn Miller and the Price is Right TV show and the Addams Family. Now, my dad and I love old TV shows, mainly because when I was a kid, my dad had this rule about no television, and my TV shows that I watched were highly monitored, and anything from the 1960s was a sure yes to watch. So my dad showed me Star Trek, The Addams Family, Gilligan's Island, F Troop, all that, and I was obsessed. Readers really get a great look at middle-class culture in the 1960s. We get a look on popular saxophone and jazz music from the 1960s that a middle-class family would listen to. We get a look at popular TV shows. I loved that aspect the most because I, again, am obsessed with TV from the 1960s. I consider it vintage and classic, and there's just everything I love in 1960s television. Anyway, I liked Malcolm and Amalia from the start, but I did not like Mr. Clockenwall, the old neighbor. I just got a really weird vibe from him, and in the story, he passed away, but he had scared Amalia in death just as he had in life, even with his ghost whispering her name and the name of another girl, Melinda. He kept repeating, or at least his ghost did, hello Melinda, come back to me, my sweet Melinda." This part just creeped me the hell out. My first thought was, since Amalia wasn't Melinda, this Melinda girl had to be somebody from Mr. Clockenwall's past. There were so many red flags that I saw in reading this novel, so get this. Mr. Clockenwall entered the teaching field and was never considering retirement. He was always around kids, he never got married, and he didn't appear to be gay, and he was staring at Amalia way too much for comfort and approached her on several occasions before she could run to safety. My guess was that Mr. Clockenwall was a pedo. None of this map stuff, I mean a real pedo. And guess what? I was right. Malcolm found Mr. Clockenwall's old journal and discovered proof of a missing 12-year-old girl named Melinda, who the creep had kidnapped years before. Mr. Clockenwall assaulted Melinda too many times to count before murdering her in cold blood. The only reason he acted creepy towards Amalia was because she was just as beautiful as Melinda, if not more so. And Malcolm explored the basement and found Mr. Clockenwall's secret room where he kept Melinda. Yikes. The part that literally made me squirm in my seat was Amalia telling Malcolm what Mr. Clockenwall had told her before he died. "If I had seen you long before I saw Melinda, I wouldn't have bothered with you because it's you I've always wanted." Yuck! This novel was already a quick read, but I flew through this book in one night. Personally, I think if you like Law & Order Special Victims Unit or crime fiction novels, then this book should definitely be added to your to-read soon list as soon as possible. For final notes, my rating for this book, 4 out of 5 stars. If Mr. Clockenwall acts like a creep and looks like a creep, Forget the benefit of the doubt and be safe to assume that he is the creep that we should all look out for. Or at least Malcolm and Amalia should. But people should be aware that people like this, like Mr. Clockenwell, exist and we should avoid them at all costs. Thrilling novel, great plot and character development. This book had me enticed from the start, and I was actually sad there was no movie adaptation of this novel. So all in all, thank you Dean Koontz for this thrilling book. I was highly entertained from start to finish. Give me more. Anyway, that is all for today, so if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to show some support, subscribe to my booktube channel to get more videos like this, turn on that notification button to be notified when I upload brand new videos every single Sunday. Keep on reading and have a great day, everyone!